Right, my back's had enough. So when it tells you off, you stop. We just have a look at what I've put where, and because I can't remember a lot of the names, I do know what they are. Helen actually sent me a list of what they are with descriptions and stuff, so I will put pop-ups. Some of them I'm going to remember, but not many. We've got one of the giant ferns there, which she's actually given me the name for, which I assume is okay. We've got some wild foxgloves. These will be biennials, so there's a good size one there that should bloom. I have to go careful what I put in this area because the fuchsia grows over 1 metre tall and spreads out sideways. So what I will probably do this year is let it grow, but stop the side shoots near the base so that it just grows tall and then spreads out higher up. Yeah, now that there I haven't just planted, and I think that is one of the giant ferns that Carol sent that I thought they'd all died. Now that one looks, something's coming up, so we'll have to wait to see what it is. Those are what I call flaming onions. They're actually crocosmia. So they've gone there, they grow tall and they flower high. So they'll put some colour and some height. We've got the foxgloves that I've already planted, they're hybrids. They will come up each year probably, unless we get a severe cold winter, but they're going to be in bloom in the not too distant future. In front of them is a row of wild foxgloves. Those will self-seed in that area and bump up the volume, so this is going to be a big foxglove corner here. Right, what else? These little things that I put in here are phlox, but they're dwarf phlox. They're sort of low growing shrubs, you could call them. So they're going to go there. That's a weed. You can come out. And these, what I thought were lamb's ears, that's actually companion. I'll stick the pop-ups up. And then next to that is the London Pride. So this is filling in stuff. This is stuff that will grow a reasonable height, but literally only up to about here, but then flower up above it. Got some flowers coming on the London Pride already, so we'll see what they are. That little piece of geranium I put in has come out of the bed there. It was hanging out the side. Unfortunately, it came out without roots, but I've stuck it in anyway. It might root, you never know, with things. Now, that one there with the crinkly leaves, I haven't got a name for it. So when you watch this, Helen, what was that one? Because the one I believe I've got a name for is this one with the delicate little flowers. That's gone in there. So again, I've got a name that goes with one of those two, and one of those two I haven't got a name for. It's good, isn't it? Right, and coming along here, we've got the geranium that was already there. That's going to fill in that bit. He's been following me all morning. He actually landed on the camera, cheeky monkey. And I suppose I can tell you, the robins have actually nested in the very corner of the garden. So in between that laurel and the bamboo, somewhere in there, in that dark space there, because I've seen them coming and going frequently. I think the female's probably sitting on eggs rather than them feeding young, because one of them keeps coming onto the bird feeder, grabbing a seed and going back into the corner and coming straight out again. So I think he's feeding the female, and then they come out and land on the top of the washing line with the cover on. So we've got robins in there. Mojo goes in there and has a look, but so far he hasn't really taken much notice of them. So I'm hoping when the youngsters come out, they either get up off the ground relatively quickly. See, there he is. He lands on there and then into that dark corner, and then probably come out quite quickly. Yeah, there we go, onto the fence. So anyway, where did we get to? whatever those, that's some more of the companion. This fern I thought I'd lost. This came from Carol, this is not from Helen. That's coming on nicely. One day I might try and look up the names of all these ferns, because I don't know many of them. The only one I really know without any shadow of a doubt is the heart's tongue. Right, so another one of the big ferns from Helen has gone up the back there. Now those sticks next to it, I don't know what that is, I've forgotten. But there's no sign of life at the base at the moment, so it might not have made it. Either way, they can fight for space. And another fern is coming up there that I don't remember planting. Now, Insa said, you'll have to watch your ferns because they will seed all over the place. There's one there. Yeah. Once you start looking, there's actually an awful lot of fern seedlings. That was planted, they're doing okay. Heart's tongue okay, heart's tongue okay. Not sure about that one though. So where do we get to? Planting. I've forgotten where I got to now. Oh yes, the little, look at this cheeky little thing. It's quite fearless. Come on, give us a song. It's because I've disturbed the soil. Be looking for grubs. Be at that all day. A fern's come up there that I don't remember planting in the middle of the elephant's ears. So that's another one, seedling that's grown. And along here, what we planted here was the dwarf cyclamen. Sorry, the hardy cyclamen. There's a group of 3 there and a group of 3 there. They'll just die back, they'll disappear soon. And then the flowers will come late autumn, early winter on their own, just the flowers. And I've put them here so that they don't like the sun on them, and also I'll be able to see them from the kitchen window. So that's that. Now this little group of ferns I planted, yeah, some of the hellebore seedlings I've moved. So I've moved a group to there and a group to there to thicken up this clump. I want that a nice solid mass of hellebores next year. They only just made it because of the heat wave. They didn't do so good. So those ferns I planted, that one I didn't. So yet another seedling there. So yeah, we've got self-seeded ferns, or ferns that happen to be fern spores possibly that were in bits of soil that came with other plants. Could be that. Anyway, that's what I've done so far, and as I said, my back's complaining, so when my back complains, the time to stop was half an hour ago, so it's too late. I've done it now. Obviously I've got clearing up to do. It's not a massive amount. Most of this will just go in the car as it is. That doesn't need cutting up or anything. This I'll pick up and bag up, and some of that I'll trim. Now I haven't planted everything yet. We've still got the London Pride in the pot, and we've still got some, oh, those of you, I call it bugle because that's its common name around here, and it got put there but it didn't flower, but it is growing nicely and it spreads through runners. Carol said you'll be pulling that out soon and regretting it, apparently. Not Carol, Helen. But the bits that I haven't planted, there's a few bits of campion and some of the bugle still to plant, and that's what it looks like when it flowers, for those of you who didn't get it. And then what we've got here, this little bit, there's bits of that in some of the things I've planted. Again, I will put a pop-up, but it's a creeper. It's capable of climbing up through bushes and then flowering out through the gaps. So that's a bit special, that one. It's only a couple of little bits, but I will plant that up separately. There's another piece there, look. No, it's all together. It's all one piece. So we've still got some planting to do, and you saw at the beginning I changed my mind. This is all thyme. It's very low growing and ideal for ground cover, and I was going to plant it along the edges, and then I thought actually I need to get the rest of the plants in first to see where the gaps are. So that's still to plant as well, and they are incredibly dry. I must put the hose on them now, and on there. I missed that bit. So as you can see, it's filling out. It's not a lot of gaps now, not a lot of gaps at all. So we're getting there. But the bugle can sort of go in places like this where the edging comes down to nothing, from something to nothing, because it will just fill in the corner. And it doesn't matter if it takes over where other plants are, they will grow through it. So it won't swamp them out so that they can't grow. It probably would the little cyclamen, that would be a bit too much, but we shall see. So we've still got a few gaps. But they're gaps that I need to go careful with, because I don't want other things swamping newly planted plants. But there's some bugle can go there, yeah, right on that edge. The London Pride will take over the edging there, so will the geranium, so that's that bit done. That gap is done. And then over here we got one little gap there, yeah. The bugle will fill that gap in, and this stuff, which as I've said I think is some sort of campanula, we will have blooms on this soon. You can see the buds in the leaf axils, so that being bloom soon. Nice bluey purple bell shaped flowers that one is. So we've filled in an awful lot, and if you look along here, there's very, very little of anything in here that I've actually bought. This has all been gifted by friends. An awful lot came from Carol, an awful lot, and then we've now had quite a bit come from Helen. But there's not a huge amount in here that I've actually bought myself. The phlox, the big foxgloves, and not a lot else really. The little cyclamen, the hardy cyclamen, and that little primula there with the little delicate flowers, I bought that. Most of the rest of it, oh, and I bought the daffodil bulbs, but they're gone now, they're long since gone. You singing us a song? No, gone again. Anyway, that's gonna do me for today now. Lovely song. So there we go, it's filling out nicely, and don't forget, a lot of these plants are going to get an awful lot bigger as the season goes on. I mean, these big ferns, they're 3 foot tall, and they'll come out in, in quite a large area. So I'm pleased with this border, the variety. Now a lot of people will think it looks a mess and the plants are all higgledy-piggledy. That's by design, that's how I want it. I want it to look wild, as though it's just sort of, on the edge of a forest glade sort of thing. That's my theory. Noisy Robin. The other one's in the border there looking for grubs. So there we go. Quite a long video, I expect. There'll be I'll have to do I'll have done lots of editing by the time you're watching this bit, because this bit's on the end. And yeah, pleased. You look, the primroses that Carol sent, they're not all primroses. Only one of those can be a primrose, and one of them isn't. They're not the same plant. I think these are primulas. I think these are hybrids. Oh, look, there's an oak tree. I think that's the primroses, but I'm not sure. We shall see. They all flower, they all look nice. Whether it's the wild version or a hybrid doesn't matter. Well, it doesn't to me. So we're getting there. And if you think how much this is filled out this year, this has now got a whole growing season for these plants to bulk up. So what's it going to be like next year?